Alright, so today we're doing a good old-fashioned shadow and schmooze. This is where I put on makeup, talk about life. Today we have some big topics, so I hope you enjoy. All the products I use on my face today will be listed down below in the description box. So I'm traveling right now, so I'm not in my usual spot, but I will get into the life updates and things. There's kind of a busy street, but hopefully you can't hear the cars going by. Check this thing out. This is so interesting. You pour water in the top and then it turns into like an ice roller. I got this on Walmart, and I wanted to thank... I'm awake now. Wanted to thank Walmart for continuing to work with me and sponsoring a portion of today's video. As we're talking, I'm going to be using a mix of stuff, some favorites from Walmart that I already love and have talked about, and then trying a couple new things as well. I just wanted to let you guys know I was able to pick out anything featured in this video myself. I'm going to go with this NYX Blur SPF. I've been using this every day for the last few weeks, I want to say. I feel like I'm like have a third left in here now. I just like the feel of this. I feel like my makeup grips really well to it. I need to turn off the air. I'm in Texas in June with 95 degrees and insane humidity, so turning off the air is love. I would say this is more of like a smoothing gripping primer than blurring, but I really like the feel of it. Walmart has a ton of different beauty brands. I'm going to be using some new ones from them. Like they have this Pretty Smart line. Profusion, this foundation I've talked about for a couple years now. This is one of my favorites, and this is so affordable. It's cruelty free and vegan. I'm going in with the shade medium 1 today. I've been using this most days here in Texas, and it's been holding up really well in the humidity. It has a great coverage. I feel like medium to full depending on how much you apply and how you apply it, but it still looks like skin. It has a beautiful satin finish. I need to stop doing that, like putting it straight on my face, because the other day I was leaving for the airport and I was wearing a white shirt, did this with this foundation actually, went all over the white shirt as I was rushing out the door. I'm going to leave a couple of my Walmart fashion favorites too down below that I've talked about in some of my recent videos, but I picked up another one of these sports bras. In my last vlog I was talking about being on the sports bra hunt, and I picked up this bra but in lavender, and then I just picked up this lime green one because this is super comfortable. The band's not too tight, it has a cute like cutout on the back. I like the straps and the material. This is the same Avia brand that makes my favorite Walmart, like that blue jacket. That's one of those sports bras that I can wear like just under a baggy t-shirt too, just to be comfortable and not have like an actual bra on. Just threw some brows on. I wanted to quickly show a couple random things I picked up as part of my Walmart haul. I needed a travel hairspray, and this is the Bedhead Mini Hardhead. This had really good reviews. Extra strong hold hairspray, especially with humidity here. Whoa. My favorite hairspray, which is also great for humidity, but I just had the big size of it, is this John Frieda one. I'm gonna link this down below too. If you're in need of a good hairspray, this stuff is amazing. Gives you volume, it holds well, but it's flexible, and I love it because you can like brush out your hair at the end of the day. It doesn't have like a sticky kind of residue in it, and then restyle the next day and you're good to go. Last night I tried this Diva Curl Super Cream Coconut Curl Styler. This smells so good. It smells like coconut. I had no idea this brand was carried on Walmart, but let me know your favorite Diva Curl products if you're a curly hair gal. Okay, let's start catching up and chatting here. So I'm currently in Houston, Texas. You might be like, why are you in Texas in June? Great question, very valid. Actually, rewind first. So I went from Oregon to Las Vegas, met up with my mom, my grandma, and my grandma's best friend. We kind of made it an annual thing now to do a trip with them in a different place. So last year we went to New York City. I have a whole vlog on that trip. This year we went to Las Vegas. So as a surprise, I got Magic Mike tickets for all of us. My grandma and Carol, her best friend, got brought up on stage for Magic Mike. Best thing ever. You can go to my Instagram if you want to see the footage. Vegas was actually pretty empty. I don't know if it's just because it was hot as heck and June is not the time to go to Vegas. Like, it was too hot to even hang out by the pool. One of the days we walked like 2 miles outside. I mean, we're going in and out of hotels' ACs, so it wasn't like straight heat. That's pretty. Look at that. It's like a nice subtle pink color. That just blended in very easily too. It's very just easy to work with. So then I went from Vegas to Houston, which is where I am now. Not done with the face yet, but I'm going to switch to eyeshadow. I'm going to try out this Profusion Mattes palette. This was very affordable. I've tried, I think, 1 or 2 Profusion palettes in the past. Typically pretty underrated, so we'll see how this one is. So I'm in Houston for a couple different reasons. The first being medical stuff, which we'll get into maybe at the end of this video, and then the second and main one is that my boyfriend lives here. So we've been doing long distance for about 5 months now. So we met on Hinge, but when I was here for medical stuff like 5 months ago, I was here for about a week the first time. We had our first date and then saw each other, I think, every single day, pretty much, besides one day that I had a lot of doctors. We saw each other every single day since we met and basically never stopped talking. He's been coming to where I live. We've done trips outside of where I live too. He'll usually stay for like a couple weeks at a time. So we actually see each other a lot, and long distance kind of gets a bad rep. I feel like it really depends on a few things. Both people have to be fully on the same page with putting in effort and communicating. Like, you have to be definitely on the same page about wanting to carve out the time and making the relationship a priority. But one of the things I've always said with long distance, and I've been in one serious long distance relationship in the past and then one that was kind of like we fell into, and that doesn't really work. It definitely has to be like a conscious decision that both people are on board with. And in those relationships that I've had, I feel like the communication is usually the best because you're forced to communicate. Like, all you're doing is talking. It's also super different depending on how old you are, like what phase of life you're in, because obviously now is very different than when I was a teenager slash freshman year of college doing long distance. Like, right now, obviously, I have more, disposable income to travel. I have the flexibility, luckily, with my job. So does he, which is a huge factor. Like, we both work remote. We both have the flexibility, so it just works. And then when we do see each other, we'll stay for usually a couple weeks at a time. I mean, he's been staying longer. So let me rewind. That first week when I was here, we just like super hit it off. Just had so much fun together and just very easy, like just comfortable, easy from the beginning. For the 6th date or whatever we were on, I mean, he came to stay with me for a couple weeks. So we were like, all right, this is either going to go really well and we're basically living together for 2 weeks, or it won't, but at least we'll know, like, right away. Obviously, it went amazing. It was just, like, so, again, easy, comfortable. I've been doing this color for forever because I'm just thinking about what I'm saying. Like, usually when you start dating someone, if you're in the same city, I feel like the first couple days you might see them, like, once a week, twice a week, maybe. But, I mean, we saw each other, like, 6 times in that first week right off the bat, and then just, like, went from there. So we've known each other for, like, 5 months, but really we've spent, I feel like, because of the amount of time that we've talked on the phone, spent with each other nonstop, like back to back, basically living with each other when we're in the same spot, I feel like we've spent more time in the 5 months together than normally you would in like the first 8 months of dating. I definitely think there's advantages to long distance, and it definitely makes you, realize like if you really miss someone and can't wait to see them. You guys know I'm pretty independent. I'm like fine with doing my own thing. For me, that's a big sign, is like when I really like crave being around someone, especially as an introvert. Like, I just feel fully comfortable and like I would rather be with him for sure than not. And it just makes you super appreciate the time that you have together. And whenever we are not doing long distance anymore, which we do have a plan, we've talked about that. We have a timeline here on like when we're not going to be doing long distance anymore and living in the same spot. And so obviously it's really hard to when you're not with each other, just because we super miss each other and would rather be spending time with each other, but it does make us definitely appreciate and make the most out of when we're together. I don't know how to explain it, but this relationship to me just feels so different than anyone I've been in before. I just feel like very secure. I know where he's at all the time. From the very beginning, he was like very open. I didn't question anything. I never had like the typical dating anxiety of like overthinking everything. And ladies, and maybe some guys, if you're out there watching this, like, you can really overthink everything. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people like play games and whatnot, and there just has never been any of that. We have so much fun together. He makes me laugh like 5 million times a day. I feel like we're very compatible on just life things, what we like doing, long-term goals. He's amazing with all of the health stuff. I just feel so thankful that somehow we met, and there's a weird chain of events that like initially led me to Houston. So the timing is just weird how everything works out. I truly feel like we met when we were supposed to. So I just wanted to put that out there to obviously share a little bit more. I touched on, just being in a relationship in a few videos ago. I'll link that in the eye down below in case you missed that. I just also want to give hopefully some hope out there if you are single, because the last couple years I talked a lot about dating, leaving a relationship where I just like in my gut felt like it wasn't, you know, right for the long term. I was open about being on the dating apps and the struggles of dating in general, but also I think there's like an added pressure of when you're in your 30s and dating, especially as a woman. And I just want to give some hope for those of you out there. Like, truly, it's hard, man. Like, when you're single in your 30s, I do feel like it's a weird kind of thing of being like the most confident in yourself, knowing exactly what you want and knowing what you're looking for. Like, I'm so happy that I held out and knew what I wanted and wasn't gonna like settle for less than that. So don't lose hope if you're in the same position. When I was there, I felt like it was kind of annoying because people would just be like, when you know, it'll happen when it happens. All these like cliche kind of things, and you're like, all right, well, when is that? Like, I'm sorry. Like, it is frustrating to be in that position, just wondering and like hoping that that person is somewhere out there in the world and wondering like how you guys are going to possibly meet. When you do finally meet that person, I just feel like you're going to be so thankful that you waited. That's how I feel. I know that's how he feels. I feel like I'm extra thankful because I went through that phase of dating and knowing what I was looking for, and I'm just so happy that I listened to my gut and held out. I'm going to kind of mix a dark brown with Bravo, which is like a warm brown, and smudge that. So this next time, like when I leave this time, this is going to be the longest we've ever gone without seeing each other, which is a month. Usually we don't like to go more than like 2.5 to 3 weeks. This is just the way the cookie crumbled on this one, but we have a very fun summer after that. Like in end of July, we have some fun trips planned. I'm really excited for. I'll be vlogging some of them. I think we're gonna bounce back to the eyes. I'm kind of like moving all around today, but I want to try this bronzing powder. Ooh, very pretty tone. Just looks like a nice tan. It doesn't look too orangey. Matte finish. It's blending out well. Yeah, it's not one that like sticks, blends out very easily. I'm going to take the Ardell Instant Lamination Lift Brow Gel. I'm going to do a little shadow on my lower lash line. I'm taking the shade Doll. I'm going to put a cream liner on my waterline. So Houston, I've been coming to for the last couple years for doctors here. Houston has a great medical system. Like I don't know if it's just because it's so massive that there's so many options, but obviously there's Methodist, there's like some of the top hospitals too. But you can also get in pretty fast here relative to other big cities. There's been a lot of medical stuff happening. Recently found out some news that I'm just trying to figure out. I recognize how lucky I am and privileged that I'm able to travel for medical stuff, being able to afford that in this country. Trust me, I think about that every single time. So I'm going all over the place, especially in the last few months. It's been like a lot. By the way, this mascara I've been loving. It's the new L'Oreal Panorama. It gives me like really pretty lifted, just long, like fluffy kind of lashes. If you are in a position where you need help with financial stuff, I just wanted to again throw out Healthwell Foundation. They're a nonprofit. Recommend them if you need help with medical bills. I'll link them down below. So then after here, I go to another place to meet with 2 more surgeons and also get my injections in my neck. I'm so used to living with like such a high level of pain every day. It's like you get used to just not functioning, but then you, like when there's someone else, you just kind of realize like that's my priority right now, is figuring out the health stuff and hopefully getting in a place where I am much more functional, where those things can happen eventually. I've been trying the Maybelline. This is the new Sun-Kissed liquid blush. On its own, I don't love it, but I want to try it as like a highlighter on top of this other. Obviously I put on the powder bronzer, so hopefully this doesn't create like a weird thing, but I think my cheeks are mostly okay enough with that cream blush. I don't like it as an all-over blush, but as a blush topper, it is looking pretty. I also just wanted to say, I talked about burnout in that video, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for all of your comments on that video. I feel like reading your comments took like kind of a weight lifted off of my shoulders, and I've just been like putting a little bit less stress on myself as far as needing to get a certain amount out per week or per month or whatever, and just posting when I'm able to with everything else going on the last couple of months. I forgot to put on gloss. I am going to be taking some time off, but I'm just figuring out the timing with all that. Obviously when the time comes, I will let you guys know what'll be happening and just the timeline and all of that. But so just wanted you to know how much I appreciate that and your guys' comments on that video. So I think this is the final look. If you are picking up anything on Walmart, well, I'll link my favorite like fashion things and just some random. I think I have one link where you can click a bunch of my favorites, so I'll have that link down below as far as just like home stuff on Walmart, bras, some clothes. But as far as makeup and stuff that I showed in this video, definitely the Profusion foundation. You gotta try it. I'm excited to keep using this. I mean, my eyeshadow blended out very easily, good everyday, just like neutral tones in here if you're into mattes. Definitely gonna be using this again. I like that you can apply it on top of liquid foundation and it doesn't like cling on. And the Pretty Smart liquid blush, I would definitely pick up another shade of. Blend it out very easily. This shade looks really natural, but everything's linked down below. Thank you again to Walmart for partnering with me again. It's been so exciting to get to work with them last few months. So thank you guys for watching and supporting and using the links down below. It does help out my channel a lot, so I really appreciate it. But hope you enjoyed this Shadow and Schmooze catch up. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.